l'architecture du mouvement olympique international. Vous voyez donc que le maillage université et mouvement olympique est très ancien, autorisé et justifié. Car en 1894, sous l'impulsion du baron Pierre de Coubertin.
Mesdames et messieurs, il s'agit simplement de dire ce qu'est cette institution, comment elle est organisée, ses activités et également quelques-uns de ses projets. En fait, le Comité national olympique et sportif du Cameroun a été fondé le 25 mai 1963 et il s'agit d'une organisation non gouvernementale reconnue par le CIO le 17 octobre 1963 à Baden-Baden, en Allemagne, lors d'une session du Comité international olympique. Cette médaille en bronze. Et notre première médaille d'or, elle est acquise à Sydney.
Let me introduce to you some members of our organization. Just close to me, Mr. Wana. Madam Ngaoundéré, IOC member, and she is also vice president. And our elder brother is Hayato. I don't know how I can introduce him to you. So after Isa Hayato, Mr. Timba Majore, vice president. And after him, Mr. Akbar, vice president. And then our Secretary General, David Ojon. After Mr. Ojon, Darwe is the treasurer. And after Darwe, Professor Tabi Manga is the Director General of the National Olympic Academy and above.
The National Olympic and Sports Committee is a strategic and very important technical partner to the university, as we will directly get involved in the huge sports industry and access to diverse sports structures.
Hello dear followers, good evening. We are with the Vice Chancellor of the University of Ngaoundéré. Good evening, Madam. We are receiving you here at the Cameroon National Olympic and Sports Committee, where you just signed a partnership agreement with the institution. So what is the objective of this partnership agreement?
Yeah, well, the objective of the partnership agreement is for us to, for the two structures to work together to advance the research and educational part of the Olympic sports, in particular, because as you heard from the president of the National Olympic and Sports Committee, that Cameroon had laid a lot of emphasis in the physical aspect of it, but not in the intellectual aspect. So this partnership would bring us closer together to be able to work with the experts of the National Olympics and Sports Committee to be able to raise the level of understanding at a tertiary level, and with that it will also permit us to carry out research, within the sector. The Olympic and sports sector is such a huge industry, and the potentials there are enormous. And with that, it will help us also professionalize our training programs, and hope and wish, and which is obvious, is that by the time the students live in such disciplines, it will be easier for them to be employed.
So what motivated the signing of this agreement?
Well, the University of Ngaoundéré has a Faculty of Education. And in this Faculty of Education, we have one of the departments. It's to do with sports, health, and leisure. So, of course, and if you look into the details of what sort of activities can you carry out within this department, it has to do with the sporting sector and education at the tertiary level, the level of the university. So it's true that when, the dean of this faculty, quite a dynamic dean, and he got in touch, to be able to make sure his faculty gets into more professional programs. He now got in touch with the National Olympic Sport and Sports Committee. And they've worked together on two projects, I would say. One were validating the strategic development plan of the university. The experts from the committee were there to make their input. And also they've worked together to validate, to prepare a project for funding, which was launched by Saudi Arabia. So they brought in a lot of the technical aspects, professional aspects, of what the researchers had in the university.
What is actually the sports level or the Olympic level of the university? What are the activities, the major activities they carry on there?
The university is a part of FENASU, and which is this aspect of sports. And we regularly, every year, they host, one university hosts the university games. And coincidentally, the next university sports activity will take place at the University of Ngaoundéré. It was scheduled for 2020, but we know the problems we have with the pandemic, COVID-19. We thought we'll carry it on this year. It's not possible because it usually takes place in the month of May. So we're hoping to do that next year, 2022. And of course, because of that, especially as we had to host these university games, it got us to improve on our infrastructure. And the last two university games, one in Marwa and the one in Chang, the University of Ngaoundéré actually improved significantly its position in the classification at the end of the games. So, as I was saying, the University of Ngaoundéré did embark, on improving of its sports infrastructure, and I think we have some 3 different sports complexes. One which is completely new, which we just put in place recently. But if not the different sporting events of the university, I know we've had the first prize, for example, in lawn tennis. But if not, we participate in all the matches, the different sporting activities. For sure, you have both male, female, you have football, you have handball, you have volleyball, you have judo, lute, and a host of these projects of typical sporting events which we have, and we do participate in all of them. We even have a gymnasium, and we're now trying to put up a more modern gymnasium than what we had before. So, it's advancing. And of course, if you listen to me today, I invited the National Olympics and Sports Committee to visit the university or to participate during the next university games that will be taking place in the University of Ngaoundéré.
What impression you have of the Cameroon National Olympic and Sports Committee after having visited our headquarters?
Well, today was the first time I came very close to your president. Somebody that I've always admired, on the screen. Especially his vision, his vision of raising the level. Because for sure, Cameroon has won in Olympic Games and whatever, but he feels after that, what happens to the athletes? But if they bring up the level of the athletes and even others to tertiary level, we can get into more profound understanding of the Olympic values and make sure we improve, on the sports in general in the country. We know today we have stadiums that are being constructed, very expensive stadiums that are being constructed. It's good that he has such a vision, of creating university centers for studies in the Olympic domain, which is very, very positive. You know, the University of Ngaoundéré is looking forward to hosting that. So I'm very impressed, you know, even the quality of persons. I saw Isa Ayatu, you know, among the members of the committee, you know, so I'm very impressed, you know, and even, the environment, everything is very impressive. So, I'm sure we've got into a very valued partnership. And as I was telling my team that came with me, that we're going to make maximum use of this partnership. You know, it's good that I have a dynamic dean, Professor Nenye, who is head of this structure. And I'll tell you, the University of the Faculty of Education, it's just its 4th year, you know, but you see that University of Ngaoundéré, through that faculty, should be able to come and sign a partnership with such a big structure. So I'm very pleased and I'm very impressed by the institution. Okay, I'm sure I'll come back, as well as, you know, the committee too will come to Ngaoundéré. You know, the president has already told me that he would like to make a visit to the University of Ngaoundéré. So we're looking forward to all